Okay, so throughout the week we've covered a lot of trailers that were shown exclusively at Comic-Con to those in Hall H. This has included Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So I thought I'd close out the week by touching upon one of the most elusive ones that hasn't been leaked online in any large capacity. That is Secret Invasion, which puts the secret in secret. The thriller is set to debut on Disney Plus in 2023, and throughout this video, I want to talk about what was shown in the teaser, some of the rumours surrounding the film, and also what we can expect to see in it from the comics. If you've enjoyed our coverage this week, then please hit the thumbs up button, and also don't forget to subscribe for videos like this every day. Without the way, thank you for clicking this. Now let's get into Secret Invasion. Now the comic storyline itself picked up in the aftermath of Civil War. There's several preludes and lots of setup to it, but if you pick up the main comic, then you should be able to quickly jump on board with what's going on. However, if you just need a quick rundown of the setup to it, it basically involves Nick Fury discovering that Skrulls have transformed themselves into notable heroes in the Marvel Universe. Fury unearths a plan by Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, where he discovers that she's planning to kill him so that she can get access to highly restricted S.H.I.E.L.D. intel. Fury kills her first, and it's revealed she's a Skrull, which makes him start to suspect there's double agents amongst them. This could be something that they tackle in the show itself, especially with Val becoming a big name in the MCU now. Either way, Fury ends up sending in Spider-Woman to infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. and to keep an eye on things for him. Now Fury went into hiding, and slowly he started to investigate the heroes and those who he believed were secretly Skrulls. Now the MCU of course did a big twist in that it turned the Skrulls into good guys during Captain Marvel. We even saw in Far From Home how Fury trusted Talos enough to let him pose as him on Earth, and it's going to be interesting to see why they've changed into enemies that want to take over the planet. My guess is that there's a Splinter Cell within them, and that we'll watch Skrulls on both sides fighting alongside the humans and also against them. Now in the comics, shortly after Fury went into hiding, Tony Stark called together Reed Richards and Hank Pym. He brought out the body of an Elektra Skrull, and we found out that this had been brought in by Spider-Woman. After Civil War, Stark became the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and realizing that they'd been infiltrated, he started to put together a plan to flush out the Skrulls. Spider-Woman told them that she discovered a crashed Skrull ship in the Savage Land, and the heroes headed out there to tackle the threat head-on. Now this led to a big fight in the area, and at one point Tony was even convinced that he himself was a Skrull who had been hypnotized into thinking that he was the real Stark. Several characters were revealed as being the shapeshifters, including Hank Pym, Jarvis, Mockingbird, Dum Dum Dugan, and even Spider-Woman herself. She'd set the whole thing up, and I can imagine that there'll be a reveal like Maria Hill or someone of that level actually being a Skrull. Yeah, beyond just the one in Far From Home. Now, if you cast your mind back to the ending of that film, then you'll remember that Fury was out in space on a Skrull ship. It seems like he's been out there for a while now, as the teaser opens with him stepping off an alien vessel. I have a theory time that ever since the events of Winter Soldier, that he's actually been off Earth, as we get some strange dialogue in the next scene on this. Both Fury and Maria Hill sit at a bar together, and they discuss how Nick has been avoiding Earth for several years. Who knows when he was lost on the planet, and potentially a body double Skrull could even explain how he was able to get shot in Winter Soldier and still come back. The person who reached out to Captain Marvel at the end of Infinity War could also be Talos, as he knew her too, and it would just flip everything on its head if that was revealed to be the case. Let me know your thoughts below on when you think he dipped out, but it seems highly unlikely now that he actually went to Stark's funeral, and this was probably Talos. He touched upon this in Far From Home when discussing the Edith glasses, and Fury has been lying low for quite some time. Hill says that she's called him several times for help, but that he's been quite content to let those calls go to voicemail. You see kids, you don't ghost Nick Fury ghosts you.
See you, chump.
Now because of this, the conversation moves to how something very important must be happening on Earth for him to return. We watch Nick Fury sitting with Rhodey, and he says, "How much do you know about your security detail?" There are lots of theories online that Rhodey might actually be a Skrull, and that this might retroactively be used as a way to explain away the recast all the way back in Iron Man 2. Would be wild if he'd just been a Skrull this entire time, and at Comic-Con we learned that a faction of Skrulls had been infiltrating Earth for years and years. This possibly goes all the way back to the 90s, and who knows which characters they are. Now we then hear the voice of Talos at this point, and he says, "You've got to be very careful, Fury." We see that he looks the same as the S.H.I.E.L.D. director from Captain Marvel, and he then stands up in a boardroom, and we watch as others join him. It seems like these are all Skrulls too, and Talos may have infiltrated the group himself. Now we also meet a person that appears to be Fury's boss. We don't know who this character is, but she's played by Olivia Colman, and she could potentially also be a Skrull too. She says, "You're in no shape for this fight that lies before us," and we get several action shots. It's clear that this is a political thriller, with a lot of the battles and fights being very grounded. There's SWAT team members, office blocks, expansive hallways, and it all appears to be taking place on Earth. We then hear Fury say, "This is my war, alone, and I'm the last person standing between them and what they really want." The teaser ends with Talos asking, "And what is that?" before we cut to black. So really exciting trailer, and who knows who is a Skrull at this point. Fury might be one, I might be one, you might bloody be one. Come here, get him, get him! Now from what I saw, I mean, what my uncle saw, I'm sick of doing that joke, what my uncle saw, he couldn't spot Emilia Clarke's character in the teaser, though it was filming half the screen. Either way, she's going to be playing a big role in the movie, and your boy is about to drop a spoiler alert for who she may potentially be. This comes from Daniel RPK, who brought us the scoop a while back, and it could hint to where the show is going to be going. Because of that, I'm giving you 5 seconds to exit the video if you don't want to know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bruce Willis was dead the whole time, you punk. I got you, chump.
Got him!
Anyway, Emilia Clarke is apparently playing a Skrull known as Gaia. This is a character that pulls from the comics, and along with her fellow Skrull agent Klur, the pair moved to Earth so that they could spy on us. Also, gonna be pronouncing all these names wrong. Now together they acted as your typical American family, and they raised 3 daughters together. They were out hiding on Earth in order to prepare us for the future Skrull invasion. However, things took a turn for the worse with the family. Their daughter Ivy was taken by a group named Project Blossom, who secretly sought out undercover Skrull agents. Ivy was thought to have been killed, though this later turned out to be untrue. The pair continued their mission in her absence, and they also attempted to uncover Project Blossom. Both she and her husband posed as Pepper Potts and Tony Stark, and together they stole a lot of information for the Skrulls on the group. It became paramount that they took out the members of Blossom so that their overall plan couldn't be uncovered, and there is potential that this might even get pulled across to the show too. Now what I love about the series is that it has the potential to really flip the MCU on its head in the same way that Loki did. Everyone could be a Skrull, including my uncle, which would explain how he got into Hall H to film the trailer, and also why he looks exactly like Kevin Feige. Now I really hope they make it as wild as the comics is, as that has several big characters that are revealed to be Skrulls, which leads to some massive oh moments. Although this feels like it could be being set up as the final appearance of Fury, we know that Marvels is going to feature him as well. That's the problem with releasing your entire slate for the next 3 years. We already know who lives and who dies. Now that debuts after Secret Invasion, so spoiler alert, he's going to make it out. But I am interested to see how they tie this into the end of WandaVision. That had Maria Rambeau, who was recruited by a member of the Skrulls, and this scene clearly showed that they'd infiltrated Earth too. How it connects to that will probably be explored in the series, and I am quite hyped to see how it all ties together. Now, it's a long ways away, but in the meantime, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the show and what you'd like to see in it. We're running a competition right now, giving away 3 copies of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on the 15th of August, and all you have to do to be won the chance of winning is like the video, make sure you subscribe with notifications on, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the leak. We pick the comments at random at the end of the month, and the winners of the last one are on screen right now, so if that's you, message me on Twitter at HeavySpoilers. If you want something else to watch, make sure you check out our breakdown of the Guardians trailer, which will be linked on screen right now. We go over all the big moments in it, where they could be heading, and the new characters, so definitely head over there right after this. If not, thanks for sticking through this video, hope you enjoy your weekend, you take care of yourself, peace.